Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Taking Over. I am, of course, Ol'Ed Ed Fries, joined as always by the natural Astrid Pizarro. Astrid, how are you doing tonight?
I'm ready to go back to bed because of the temperature we have in the weather outside. So it feels
Yeah,
nice.
it's it's been a week in our local establishment team, and in different things we've got going on. I've had to go watch Supergirl. That will give you the choice of wording with that one will explain a little bit about my thoughts on that movie going into Thursday night. I had to watch Supergirl.
Oh no.
I also saw The Death of Robin Hood as suggested on our last show after the show by our good friend Jamie Apps. It was the first time I'd watched an A24 movie in the theaters. It's only the second time I've watched an A24 movie, period, because I didn't realize that The Iron Claw was an A24 movie. The one about the Von Erichs. I didn't realize that was A24.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a minute to realize that I'm watching a film as opposed to a movie. And I think I think when you're watching something that A24 does, I think you need to make sure that you go into it with that expectation changed, that you're not watching a major studio motion picture. You're watching an A24 production, which isn't going to be on the same length. Like it's a different style of movie, and I wasn't ready for that going into watching that. Hugh Jackman is fantastic in that, by the way. Adore it. If you haven't seen it, try to go see it before it's all out of theaters, because it won't be long before that thing's gone from theaters. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a really good time. Today is my 18-month anniversary, so of course I'm spending that doing a podcast. So hi Megs, love you to death. And then some sad news on the Our Local Establishment side of things. I know that some of you will have not known this, but we've covered PPW. We know that Bobby is an integral portion of PPW. We want to wish some good well wishes and speedy recoveries over to one of my favorite professional wrestlers, my favorite Canadian professional wrestler, El Assassino. But in everything, we do want to wish him a speedy recovery. He had a rough injury at the last show. We're hoping he'll continue to be okay. He is seemingly okay right now. So hopefully that continues, and hopefully Bobby will understand that this is somehow obviously his fault. So, no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, we do wish a speedy recovery to El Assassino. He is a friend of the channel. And we adore all professional wrestlers who aren't assholes. And he is indeed one of the nice guys. So we're here to talk about Limitless Wrestling, this place right here. You can find them up there at Limitless Wrestling and on YouTube, LW Maine, on Twitter. More importantly, you can now find them, as they said during the show, and this is the only size logo I could apparently find for this, at myaew.com. However, I will say that I was pleased to hear Rich Palladino say that it's going to be on a free portion of myaew.com. So you'll need to have a subscription, but it won't necessarily need to be like a paid one to like watch the AEW stuff on it. So it seems like maybe this independent wrestling, because we've seen C4 announce a great promotion that we love to cover, Limitless Wrestling, who we've covered. This is our second time covering Limitless Wrestling. I've been watching them for the better part of the last year or so, almost every show. There are companies that we're watching that we're seeing pop up on my AEW that we're like, how is this going to work? Tonight was the first real idea with Rich Palladino saying you can watch us for free by signing up for myaew.com. Hopefully that means that there's going to be a free tier portion with a lot of these indie promotions that hopefully tries to encourage people to go ahead and work with and get AEW content and get the other things that are going to be on here, some of the other paid things. Limitless Wrestling obviously has ties to AEW in some way, shape, or form. A lot of the former talent is now working in AEW. Last time we talked about them, MJF was on the show. He brought in Busta and the Brain. He brought in Alex Price and Jordan Oliver into AEW on that show. So obviously the connections are good there. Happy to see them getting a platform to be able to have other people outside of New England getting an opportunity to see Limitless Wrestling. What is your thoughts now, the second time around, watching a Limitless Wrestling show?
I feel like it was very smooth, and we were talking about it just before we started the show too. I really enjoyed the pacing of it because I feel like there was no moment that I felt like it down or anything that was like negative towards the show in itself. Um, Obviously, I will forward anything like past the matches for the entrances because I just wanted to get to the matches to get my notes done because I was working while I was watching it. But um, I do like the entrances and anything in this venue. It's so interesting going from like kind of like behind the fans to like in front of them, going on the stairs only to go around and go up in the ring again. So I thought that was really interesting. I do like also that, and we see it in one of the matches here, that at least they have some spacing between like the mats on the floor, but they have some spacing between the ring and the fans. So at least they have a little bit of a gap to be able to do their thing there, without necessarily being over the fans entirely. So it's nice to see that they have a little bit of a gap there too. But I like that overall. I don't know if I am correct on this. I want you to let me know. There's only one guy in commentary too.
Johnny Torres.
He does very well of hyping up everybody, no matter their faces or heels. I love that about him. The fact that he was like, "Oh my god, they're doing this! Oh my god, that!" And I was like, he just sounds like such a fan watching wrestling. It's like I feel like that would be me on commentary if I were to do it. Except for not knowing the wrestling moves, then that would be the big difference. But I love how he's just like a hype man for everybody. I love the vibe from him. I was like, I felt like I was watching somebody just like, yeah, I'm watching this too, and I love that.
Johnny Torres did such a good goddamn job on commentary. I forgot he was by himself at portions during the show.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I thought about it, and I forgot what match it made me think about it. I was like, wait, I feel like I haven't heard anybody but him. It's always him. And I was like, wait, and I kept going. I was like, yeah, it sounds like the same voice. And I was like, I don't recall if they even mentioned that he was the only one on commentary, but I was like,
Rich does. Yep, Rich does at the very beginning of the show. Rich says that it's on commentary by himself tonight. Will be Johnny.
Yeah, it took me a moment. I was like, wait, I don't remember what's the match that made me think about it. But then once it ended, I was like, yeah, I only heard that one voice. And then obviously you hear the silence because it's taking a breather and everything. And I was like, yeah, he doesn't have anybody with him. He's doing a great job by himself.
Yeah, he did a very good job carrying everything, taking minimal breaks to get a breath in to continue to go. I thought he did sensational. I really enjoyed. He didn't push the stories as well as he could have had he had somebody else. But again, it's hard to do all of that, be the play-by-play, be the color commentator, kind of give the whole vibe. The good thing was the crowd was into everything. So it really gave you a bit of a soundtrack through the night that you kind of knew what you were getting into as you went. I was hoping we'd have Mel here at the beginning of this show because we do have the Noah match opening the show. Now you're going to message her to get her in here so we can talk about it with her. I thought it was funny. We had all three of them on the show because the three Gaijin members of Good Looking Guys from Noah, the GLG, are indeed here. We have LJ Cleary taking on Jack Morris, and later on in the night, we'll have alternative AG Anthony Greene on the card as well. This is my first chance getting to watch Mr. Lyra Valkyria in action.
Hey.
However, I will say, unfortunately, he was slightly overshadowed by Jack Morris, who has become one of my new favorites. Now, there's a lot to this. Jack Morris is a fantastic heel. Jack Morris he wasn't trying to, but I kept seeing a mini Drew McIntyre every time I saw him on screen. He looks a little like Drew. Obviously, he's Scottish, so he talks a little like Drew. He has the same great pacing that Drew has when he cuts a promo. And also, this comes from a very special point in time where the Scottish were taking over Boston during the first round of the World Cup. The Scots had at least one, if not two matches in Boston, and the fans were everywhere. And we didn't want to let them go. Like, they were so beloved in the city that Scottish women were having to put out Instagram reels and TikToks telling the Boston people that we had to let them go back to Scotland. We've adopted the Scottish so much that the Patriots have petitioned the NFL to play a game in Scotland next year, to bring the New Englanders to Scotland to see this as a part of an exchange. We saw their football, now we want them to see our football. And And I love how he got into that, where he was chanting and they were doing the, no Scotland, no party kind of thing. It was very fun and interesting. And then he turns on LJ Cleary again for the match. He turns on LJ Cleary. I have no doubt that once we get back to Noah and they go back to Japan, back to being the good-looking guys again. I really like this match, all in all, though. I think Jack Morris is fantastic. He is simply sublime, as he says he is sublime every time, as his name suggests. LJ Cleary is really good. I like the things he does. I think he does a lot of things that we've seen from a lot of people. I don't want to say he's ordinary, because obviously he's not. That finisher that he has of that jumping springboard, almost a destroyer. I'll put almost a destroyer, because he doesn't get fully over. Him and Jack have a little bit of a... He gets 3/4
You see it in my
of the
notes.
way.
I did the same thing. I put destroyer
I
question mark.
I didn't even see it in your notes. I just haven't written in my notes that he didn't get all of it.
Yeah. I
But
was like, it looks like a destroyer, but I'm not entirely sure. So I put it as that, because I was going to ask, is like, does that count as a destroyer? Does it not? I put it like that so I could remember what it was, because I'm like, it looks almost like it, but not entirely. But it looks cool, though.
It was great. Like, I love the move. I'm just saying, like, if it's supposed to be a destroyer, he didn't get all of it. But again, when you have guys like Speedball Mike Bailey, when you have guys on this show like DJ Springs and Darren Richardson, like when you have guys who work like this, you've gotta be good. And I think there's a lot for LJ Cleary. He's young. He's still in his early 20s. Like the sky is the limit for this kid. He's got charisma. He looks good. He's got a decent height. He's dating Lyra Valkyria. Like I said, everything is going right for this young man. He's in the States working. Like, there's no reason he can't be a star. I love this match. I like Jack a little bit more than I like LJ Cleary in this match. But overall, A+. Love these guys. It was great. I spoke of mine earlier. We got yours in here too. Hello, Louise.
Yeah, once I saw Jack, I had to do I did a little clip of it and I sent it to Mel, and she goes, "Oh my God." I'm like, I know that. Imagine me watching him now, and now I'm talking about him. He's so fun, and I like that he has a character, and I feel like we always talk about like how a lot of people don't have that, but he has the character. He has it like right there and down, and it's nice to see that something that's different on that side of it, because I feel like I said, a lot of people don't have it, but he does have it. With LJ, I think he's just overall like a fun vibe for me. That's how I can describe him. And it's like I've seen him wrestle here before. I think it was at the MLW show, if I remember correctly, for the first time. And overall, I enjoyed him, but I was like, it was too short, and I wanted to see more from him. And I feel like this was a good, like, more of a preview for me than it was before. And like you said, Mr. Lyra Valkyria, I enjoyed him. I love his vibe too. Every time I see him, I just think about that, like Superman meme, where he looks like Clark Kent while he was at ringside, but he looks so different when he's wrestled because he doesn't have glasses on. He looks like such a different person. But yeah, I definitely want to see more from LJ. The thing that I want to point out, how my brain works. Every time I see his name, I thought his last name was Clearly at first, and I have to think about it every time I see it to make sure I say Cleary, not Clearly. Yeah. Doesn't help me at all. But I feel like it was a fun, like, great way to open up the show and start with like high energy, because they're such fast pace. And like I said, it's like I was thinking more about the destroyer. I was like, was that a destroyer? Was it not? Because I really liked how it played out, and I would overall like enjoy the match in itself too. So I was hoping that when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm glad this is the opener, because I was looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I thought this was great. It was a nice way to open the show. We then move on to our Fatal 4-Way match, sponsored by Bull Moose. And we're not going to make any money off of this, but it's a place I used to go to. So this is Bull Moose. This is their website here in New England. They're a discount like record store. Like, they sell used and new things, whether it be records, whether it be games, whether it be movies, cards, things like that. It's a fun little place. The game store that I used to go to, the board game store, used to be right next door to a Bull Moose, so we used to go all of the time. So yeah, so when you heard them constantly talking about Boo Moose, Astrid, this is what we're talking about. They were the show sponsor. Good to have them here. I enjoy their stuff. We have our match here between DJ Springs, or as I have written in my notes, Mini Javon Evans. You're on mute. You've just pulled a me, but I
knew I was on mute. It wasn't a you entirely. I just had to say it out loud to myself. I'm like, stop it. That's what that's what I thought about too. Every time I saw him, I was like, this is Javon Evans all over again.
It's not even Javon Evans. It's like Javon Evans' child. Like, he looks like him. He has the same hair as him. By the way, I don't know if you caught this on commentary. I went back and listened to it. DJ Springs is a student of somebody else that we've covered on the show before, LeBron Cozone from Ashe Wrestling.
Oh, and they had a new show recently.
They did. I watched it. I was very happy. Got to see our good friend Chris Lee in the ring, finally doing some stuff. That was fun to watch. Go ahead. If you haven't, go on their YouTube channel, Ashe Wrestling. Go check them out. They are fantastic. I'm unfortunately moving this year as opposed to taking a vacation, or else we would have probably been at that show, because the June show's probably when we would have gone.
Yeah.
Probably, which would have been fucking fantastic had we been there to watch Chris in action.
Yeah.
As I saw it, I'm like, of course, that's the show we would have gone to. We didn't get to go. So,
yeah, that's true.
So DJ Springs, Mini Javon Evans, taking on Daron Richardson, who we've now seen a couple times here. We've seen him 2 or 3 times. We've got to cover House of Glory at some point now. Like, we've seen him out of his element in other places. I feel like I have to see him in his element as the longest reigning cruiserweight champion in House of Glory history. The man trained by the now soon to be Hall of Famer Amazing Red.
Yes.
So I think there's a lot of fun with that. They're taking on Daphne DeVille, who is longtime professional wrestler out here, formerly known as Danger Kid. Now Daphne DeVille. Love to see that going on. Somebody's dying backstage on Astrid's side. The kids are having a good time.
I think they're watching Love Island, so
I don't know why they'd be saying not like that, Love Island, but it is what it is. And of course, it wouldn't be summer, it wouldn't be Maine, it wouldn't be Limitless Wrestling without it being Big Boy season. We got AC Baby here too. Ace Romero is here. Astrid, what were your thoughts on this Fatal 4-Way?
One of my favorite parts for sure is the fact that it's one of those matches that there's so much going on everywhere. There wasn't a moment that they really like slowed down. There was a point too that they had oh my gosh, I don't know if it was a superplex in the corner. I don't know, it was with Daphne and I think it was Richardson, and I know Ace kind of helped out at the end to make it happen. And and I miss your face. I gotta tell you that much.
Conrad, thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it.
But overall, I enjoy how fun it was because everybody was doing something. I feel like everybody had a spotlight in the match in itself. Everybody got to do their thing before the match ended, so that's what I was happy for. The fact that it felt like almost like equal time, if you were to put it like that. Yeah, overall fun thing. I was not expecting Richardson to win it the way he did, though. I was like, that was very sneaky and really well done out of him. Because he wasn't involved in what happened, and all of a sudden he just comes in and takes that one in the end. So I was like, I'll give him props. It was very sneaky.
I love Daron Richardson. Every time I see him, I fall more in love with this heel character that he's got going on, with the crazy hair just everywhere and anywhere. I love Ace Romero. Like, as a big guy, the big boy season gimmick with the I know you skip the entrances, but one of these days you got to listen to Ace coming out, especially in a Limitless show where you're in his area of Maine, where it's his people and he helps run the show up here, and you just hear everybody chanting Big Boy Season as his song plays. It's just a banger. DJ Springs was fun here. I enjoyed everything he did. I love the idea of taking out Daron in the beginning, working on, and then Daphne being a kind of an equal opportunist. I'll take you out. I really don't care. I'm going to try to win. The one negative I'll have about this match is at one point Daphne tries to go throw DJ Springs into the post outside, and she gives like the weakest little just like shove off to him, and he just keeps walking, not running, but like gently walking towards the post as she rolls into the ring to go do her next spot. I was like, oh, that was a bit underwhelming. I did love the finish though. Again, finishes here, they're going to be up and down finishes. In the first match that Mel misses, she's going to have to go back to the beginning of the show to hear us talk about her Noah good-looking guys because she missed it. I loved pushing Daphne into Ace, them stopping and avoiding the spot and going, aha, we're smarter than the heel. And then the heel just does it again. And they bonk heads, and then he rolls through, like you said, and gets the cheap win. I love it. It makes perfect sense for his character to do whatever it takes and to be smarter than everybody else by doing the thing again because they think they're smart. Like, it was just fun and good, and it didn't have to be super thought out, and it didn't have to be super complicated. It just had to be basic and get the job done, and it does. The crowd hated him because he's in New England with New York Knicks merch. He makes Rich Palladino tell us that the New York Knicks are the NBA champions. I haven't done this in forever, but since there's no other people here to do it, get rid of her because her family likes New York teams for some awful reason. But no, like instant in New England, instant heat. Just talk about how great anything from New York is. Just instant heat.
Look, you're definitely gonna love my dad's birthday in August, then, since you don't like the Yankees or anything New York related.
I mean, I don't have to be there, so it'll be fine.
No, but I'll send you pictures after so you can see.
Maybe I should send Daddy a real hat and just send him a Red Sox hat.
No.
Real team, real winners. I mean, not this year, but in general. Anyways, I love the match. It's fun. Again, it didn't take up too much time, but it also didn't feel like it didn't have too little time either. Everything on this card felt like it had just the right amount of time. Again, great thing about having about a 2-hour show in 6 matches. You just kind of get in, get out, and everybody kind of gets to do their thing. I love this. Daphne DeVille is not our only female representation on this show. We're back here again with our next match, and it was a pick your partner tag team match for Jada Stone. Jada Stone is in a long-running feud right now with Becca. Becca was unavailable for this show as she was working elsewhere, so they had to figure something out. What do you do when you don't have Becca? It is what it is. When you don't have Becca, what do? You get the B3 boys themselves. You get Anthony Vecchio and Aaron Ortiz, the Shooter boys themselves. And Jada Stone picks a partner. There ain't much better partners to pick than Gabby Forza, who, by the way, I love that we get to do this after TNA Slammiversary, which was here in Boston, in the Agganis Arena. We get to talk about a little, in the next match, we get to talk about a little bit of fun stuff that happened with that Ash is going to be a little upset about. But we get to talk about here the brand new Knockouts Television Championship that was introduced at Slammiversary. They announced the full brackets today online, and we got the great notification that Gabby Forza is going to be involved in this, which means Gabby Forza to TNA.
No, me. Yeah.
Great to see her there. It was funny. I was looking over the things and I saw Wendy Chu and I'm like, oh my God, she jumped ship. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's TNA. They're partners. It's okay.
No.
I'm like, did I miss something? Like, I guess I didn't watch Slammiversary. One, I didn't go because the tickets were a bit pricey until the very last minute. And I had better things to do with my weekend. And two, to be brutally honest, like, there wasn't a whole lot that I wanted to see on that show. But I was like, did I miss like her debuting for them? Like, because we saw the cryptic post after she lost the Evolve title to Nikita Lyons, which should make me happy and makes me horrified because what the fuck are they doing down there? Timothy Thatcher, good God, what are you doing? Like you have Sloane Jacobs right there and you give the title to Nikita. Why? I don't know, but you do what you do. But here, yeah, Gabby is going to be in TNA. She's probably going to lose to Jody Threat, we'll be honest, but it'll get her on TNA television, which is really all you can ask for. What did you think of this 2 women versus 2 men's tag team match here, Astrid?
But I was gonna say about the TNA part though, I'm glad that they didn't also rely on a lot of people like outsiders or indie talent, and they took up most of the roster. I think one of the few ones I haven't seen there is Myla. I think it's one that I didn't see there.
She got released.
From
Myla
TNA?
Grace. Yeah, Myla Grace is no longer.
No, Myla, the other one, Myla Moore, I think is the last name.
Oh, yeah, no, she's still there.
Well,
yeah, she's still there.
I think she's the only one that I can recall right now that wasn't part of the tournament in itself. But the fact that they have 2 people technically from NXT and 2 people from the Indies so far, it's really well balanced at least. So I'm glad about that too.
I now have to go look up the other indie name because I don't remember seeing that.
Vicious Vicky is the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just her name looks a little bit different. That's why.
Okay, yeah, I see her now.
And then Wendy and then Thea is the other one. So it's 2 NXT, 2 Indie, and the rest are TNA. But yeah, overall, I had fun with this one. I really enjoy every time I get to see Jada also, because every time you get to see the spark, why not? Because like I said, TNA doesn't really do much with her, so I'm glad to see her performing elsewhere and being herself the way she is. She's just a fun overall to watch. I love that every time I see her, I just see myself in her, because I'm like, if I was a wrestler, that would be me, because of how tiny she is, but how quick she is at the same time. And I love how she's able to, like, even how tiny she's able to make herself stand out as well. I love how Gabby helped her to do the kind of like the moonsault thing to the guys outside. I think that looked pretty cool too. I also like the mentality here from the guys, the fact that they think of Jada being the smaller one of the team and they isolate her for most of the match, knowing that Gabby comes in, and as soon as Gabby comes, it's going to be a hot tag. She's the bigger opponent as well. And I love how they realize that. So they like not only keep her isolated, but also slow her down, knowing that once she picks up the pace, it's over for them as well. So I like that mentality there from the team, the way it happened. Again, it's like, and also Gabby, she's so impressive every time we see her, like going against the guys too. I feel like she's able to show off herself a lot, and I love that about it. The way she takes any opportunity to do it, and she did it. So I was like, I was overall just fun and happy with this match, to be honest.
Like I love to give the B3 boys a bunch of shit because I enjoy giving them shit when they're in this gimmick because I love the shooter boys so much as the shooter boys, but I love getting to see the goofy heel side of them because they have to be like so, Team Angle-esque kind of thing, American Alpha-esque, depending on your generation of which version you watch. It's one or the other because they're both essentially the same thing. But to get that little bit of fun and excitement, energy, and goofiness out of them, you pair them with Becca. You give them this shitty heel gimmick where they're just guys to get beat up to be the ones to help Becca. Like, I just love that. It's so much fun. They do it so well, but they also have such a great way of working like you said, they work the ring psychology of the match so well that even an intergender match, they make it feel like it's important. They make every moment of this match feel important. Jada feels like a big deal. Gabby is a big deal. She's probably the biggest deal in this entire match, which is saying something considering how well and what great I think of the shooter boys. I think Gabby's the biggest deal in this match. It's why we made a big deal about her getting that opportunity in the TNA Knockouts television title tournament. I thought this was great. Bringing Gabby in is a no-brainer. Jada gets the win. It moves Jada one step closer to taking out Becca. We're going to see that at the Vacationland Cup, which is their next big match, their next big show. They have another show in between, but that's their next big show that they've got coming up. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. And this was just like that. It was a lot of fun to watch. The one thing I'll say is again, I happened to notice when spots didn't quite seem to go right. I mentioned in the opening match, we talked about LJ Cleary's finisher and how that jumping, spinning destroyer thing off the second rope seemed like it didn't quite get all the way there. We talked about in the four-way, Daphne kind of just, sending DJ Springs towards the corner and him walking himself gently into a turnbuckle. Here it was Jada. She does that roll-through stomp but it looked like she was trying to transition to the stomp and didn't. There was some communication issue between her and Ortiz, and she couldn't stand back up to get the base to do the stomp, so she just moved on. And that was great. She just moved on to the next thing. But I feel like there was supposed to be a stomp there in between. Like, I feel like it's a roll through into a stomp into the next thing. And I'm like, it just felt like it was something missing from that spot. Like, she tries to stand, it doesn't.
Was that the one that he landed by, like, very close to the ropes? Because I feel like, okay. I
And
saw that and I was like, the spacing didn't feel right.
And she has his hands as she rolls through, like she's going to use him to push his arms down to stand to get that base for the. And like I said, we've talked about how when we heard Gigi Ray talking about how she loves working intergender matches and working with the guys because they're able to base so much better for her. And it's like, it just felt like there was a small misstep. Again, it didn't ruin the match. It's not a bad thing. It just feels like it was a spot that I seemingly in my head think I've seen her do time and time again. Like, it's one of those things that she does that I feel like just didn't get done right here. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame. That would have been a cool, because I think that would have been a really cool spot. That roll through stomp is just a cool idea. And she's small enough and compact enough to do that. And I think that the Shooter Boys are the kind of guys to be able to get that done. I was a little disappointed it didn't happen. Gabby hits Bear's finish for the win. I think that's very important going into our main event later on tonight with Bear. That I think is very cool that she hits his finish for the win as opposed to just using her spear. And yeah, this is a fun match. It does all the things it needs to do, and it gets us one step closer. Gets us to hear Jada Stone on the microphone after the match. I thought was really cool. Again, if only there was a company in North America who had TV time, who could, put her on television. It's like they're going to introduce another new women's championship while they can't freaking figure out how to book their regular women's championship properly. By the way, congratulations to whatever new women's champion they have over there. I honestly can't tell you who just won the title this Sunday. I saw the thing. Is it Zaya? The one who left her passport, who left her ID here? Because I heard she's like, I'm having a shit week. I left my ID in Boston and things are going wrong. And I'm like, but didn't you just... Good for her. Like, I guess good for her. Like, she won the title from... So Zaya won it from Zaya, right?
A long time no see.
I know. It's nice to see STG in the chat. He's on YouTube too. He's not even on the Twitch side.
No lie, I was about to call you out in the Get the Tables Discord not too long ago. Say you're alive. I can't believe it.
It is. I mean, I wasn't at the venue, so honestly, I can't help her. I didn't go to that show either, so it's the reason why I didn't realize she won the title. Mm-hmm. But no, good for Zaya Brookside. I think she's great. It's just, this is the thing. If you like a company, and even if you're not watching all of their stuff, if you like a company, you should generally know who their champions are, just kind of by social media, by things going on. You should just kind of have a vibe. Like, I can tell you who almost every champion in WWE is. I haven't watched a fucking show in almost a year, but I can tell you who most of the champions on the main roster are right now. And I think I could get all... If I did the list, I think I could get all but two, probably. No, it really wasn't a memorable match. Thankfully, she's not on this card, so it doesn't matter. But, we're halfway through this show. STG is now here to give me shit, which is great. Football season coming up. I love to see that. Hopefully, he'll be back on these too. But we're here to talk about, again, something that happened on Sunday. It's going to make Astrid a little sad. But he was introduced at this show as a former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, which at the time was correct, but should now be introduced as the current reigning and defending TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Nic Nemeth, who defeated Santana at Slammiversary here in Boston, taking on and defeating the alternative Anthony Greene, the third Gaijin member of Noah's good-looking guys crew. Good to see him here. They got to have a nice little photo. Yes, Mike Santana did indeed lose.
He's WWE bound, so it's bittersweet.
Yeah. Trust me, he's off to bigger and better contracts. Maybe not better places, but better contracts, if nothing else.
Yeah.
The money will be better. He may not get booked any better, but the money
But I'd like him as world champion, and that's not going to happen anytime soon, so that's bittersweet.
I mean, you say that, and they just crowned Sami Zayn, so... Well, then you should have been here to watch the good-looking guys brawl match earlier in the show. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. But go back to the beginning of the show and watch that, because we did talk about Jack Morris and LJ Cleary. It was great to have the three of them here on this show. The creative may not be good. No! A Latino in WWE? No! The booking might be bad? How dare you! There's only one person who can properly book Latin talent in WWE, and that's The Undertaker, who's booking...
Technically it's Jeremy Borash, too.
Well, yes, Jeremy Borash and The Undertaker down in AAA, which, by the way, I don't classify that as me watching WWE product, but I do watch that on a fairly regular basis. It's the only WWE product that I actually watch right now.
I would say WWE affiliated, but not just WWE.
They own it, so it's tough to like. It's fine to get away with
affiliate. Let's put affiliate at least. Yeah.
Yes, Sublime every time, Jack. I loved my mini Drew McIntyre. He was great. Chef's kiss, loved him. Ed AAA fries. Yes, I do love me some AAA. But we're not here to talk about AAA. We're here to talk about Nic Nemeth, the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Credit boys don't know what cohesive is. Yeah. Like I said, I can't talk about whether the booking on anything is good right now, considering I'm not watching anything but the independents. So I can't tell you one way or the other who's doing good, who's doing bad. I'm just telling you I have no idea what the women's division does in TNA, so I know they're not doing that shit properly. That's the only reason why I consistently rag on them about that. Is because if they were doing it properly, she'd know what's going on and I would know. I love this match. I thought AG was fantastic here, wearing his Rick Rude style attire with Aiden Aggro's face on it. Nic Nemeth versus Anthony Greene is a dream match I didn't know I needed to see. Not a dream match in terms of like, oh my God, it's going to sell tickets. But it's a match like, oh, these two together? Yeah, I want to watch that show. Let me see what they've got going on. Yes, TNA absolutely needs to sign the two talents. And by the way, being in that tournament is hopefully going to get them signed. I mean, I don't think the budget's going to need to be that big to sign them. Like, you have Bear Bronson already. I don't think bringing in Gabby is going to be difficult because Bear's still doing all of his independent dates. He still works for GCW. He still does all his death matches. He still does Beyond Wrestling on a weekly basis. He still does Wrestling Open on a weekly basis. He still does Limitless Wrestling here. Like, he's still making the town. So I don't think that the contracts need to be that big as long as there's a paycheck and a date to work as part of the deals. Uh-oh, we got breaking news?
I just saw a video because I was trying to get a picture to post on here to show you for Anthony Greene. And Nikki Blackheart just debuted in NXT.
Oh, nice. On TV this time as opposed to just being debuting in the venue?
And if I'm seeing it correctly, she took out Tatum, so.
Is she still going with the Nikki Martinez name, or did they change it to that other name that they booked for her?
I don't know. It's a clip, so I can't watch it right now, but
okay.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, see if maybe you can hear it and tell me.
Yeah, I'll deal with it. We'll deal with it after the show, but it is good to know. I do love myself some Nikki Blackheart. She is fantastic. Ashley will do anything to not talk about Nic Nemeth. So, Ashley, talk about Nic Nemeth.
I was trying to find a picture to show on here. Okay, I forgot what section do I put it in. Okay, I think I got it here. Let me see. No, it's like I knew I had to point this out, and I'm like, once you mentioned, I thought I sent it to myself. Let me see. Did I?
Is this the clip from earlier?
No. I think I got it. Once you mentioned like when you started talking about the match, I was like, I know I had to show this off because it just made me laugh when I first saw it. Anthony Greene's attire.
Yeah, that's Aiden Aggro's. It's Aiden Aggro's face. It's Rick. So
Yeah.
Asher's a little young, so she doesn't understand this.
Hey.
But Rick Rude used to do this.
I know about Rick Rude. Excuse you. I'm not that young.
You really are. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know if you've ever.
No, but it's still it made me laugh at the same time. I forgot to take a picture of the other side too. But it just like when I saw it, I was like, did he really just do that? I haven't seen that in a while. I feel like I don't know if it's me. Yeah. So I have to point it out. That's why. Hey, don't be aging me here.
Oh. I mean, I'm not quite 50, but I'm getting closer every day.
No, I had to point that out because you mentioned Anthony, and I knew that that was one of the things. Because I would say in this match, he made me laugh a lot, though, which I was not expecting. I love the two parts. That first when he's having that back and forth at the beginning with Nic about hitting each other. But my favorite part was that one in the corner of how like him pretending that Nic hit him, but also love blowing him later too. And everything where it just made me laugh overall, and I was not expecting to laugh at an Anthony Green match. So I had to point that out once it happens, like especially that part where he pretended that Nic hit him. And I love the crowd, especially this one said like, "Oh, he's lying." I forget I think it's what they chanted. Mm-hmm. And I love it. Made me think of how I enjoy how active the crowd was, especially during this match with him. I was like, I love when I can't imagine them as a performer when you're doing something and you get a reaction. It's bigger than what you expected it to be, and I feel like this crowd really did it, especially in this match.
Yeah, and I love that we don't see it here. I sent it to Astrid after the fact so she could see it before we went on the air. Anthony Greene's cutting a promo outside the building afterwards, talking about how he failed and how he has to get better and do better. And he was going to steal the show, stealing a Dolph Ziggler type line from Nic Nemeth. And Nic walks up to him and he's talking and he's like, look, you can talk your shit online. You can talk your shit. He's like, the reason why I can talk my shit is because I back it up. I go out there in the ring and I don't just do it in the ring and I'm not just a good wrestler. I go out there and I win and I get the job done. It doesn't matter if there's 50 people, 500 people, 5,000 people. I've done it in front of 50,000 people. He's like, I can do this in front of anybody and everybody, and it doesn't matter how big the venue is. And I'm like, that's really cool coming from Nic Nemeth. And again, looking back, like this show is less than 2 weeks old. This show literally happened like 2 weeks ago Saturday. Like it just happened. And Nic Nemeth in between this wins the title. And it's like, it's that next step of like Nic being able to say these things and have this proof. Like, here's the gold that proves the thing. Like, he didn't have it then, but it proves the story now. And it's something that you can continue. If you want to run this match back where AG's like, I got my head on straight. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to get right. I'm going to do this. It's a way to go ahead and do that. So I thought it was really cool. Moving on to our next match, we have a Vacationland qualifying match. The Vacationland Cup is their big summer event. It is a tournament that they do kind of King of the Ring style. They have some qualifying matches, and then they go ahead and have a night where a bunch of people wrestle each other. They have tournament style matches, and it leads to a singles match where the winner wins the Vacationland Cup, and they get an opportunity at the Limitless Wrestling Champion. It's a big deal. It's one of their big summer main event style, summer events. Also, things to know about this match is that my least favorite wrestler in the entire world, and he is my least favorite wrestler in the entire world, 23 Hazard, trying to catch a body. I wish he'd just get his in better shape and not be a 50-year-old guy who looks like a wigger from the 1980s. Because he looks like how kids that thought they were white rappers in my age growing up looks like. No, not 69 Hazard. Unfortunately, he's only 23 Hazard, although he looks like he's 69. So at one of the previous shows, we had Scott Garland, Scotty Too Hottie, take on his son in a match, Keegan Garland. Scott was going to retire. Scotty was, I'm done. I want my last match to be in front of my family, my friends, and go ahead and just do the thing with my son. And there's this cool thing. I know it's popped up here, there, at least on my timeline. I'm not sure if it's popped up on Astrid's, where somebody intercut in his family. It intercut photos of Scotty 2 Hotty wrestling Keegan on the bed when Keegan was a little kid and like pretending to wrestle, to them doing the exact same spots in the match that they had live in front of all the people. So they're interlacing like each spot that they're doing. Like it's like little home footage stuff. And it's fucking adorable. I absolutely love it. It makes you want to cry. I feel like I'm doing every wrestling scene because we've all got a guy like that. No, I never wanted to be the White Rapper. I liked the White Rappers. I didn't want to be them. But so Hazard then ruined that by attacking the both of them after that match, which brought out Aiden Aggro to go ahead and do the save, because Aiden Aggro is a guy who grew up with Scotty 2 Hotty. He's a friend of Scotty 2 Hotty's. He looks at him like a mentor, and this guy needs to be taken down. Also cue in the Vacationland Cup. So they go ahead and do this match. Astrid, please tell me you at least watched the entrance for Aiden Aggro.
Yeah, I did watch that one, but I will tell you before I say that, every time I see 23 Hazard, I can only think of you, so this is your problem now.
Tell me how much you love Aiden Aggro's theme music, because I miss him being Get Chaotic, because I love hearing that shit and just bouncing to it. Like it's such a good song. I bop to that shit, no problem. Every time I hear it, I bop. I love it.
Yeah, I went to forward it and then went back and I started listening to it because I was like, I like it plus the way that he just walks to the ring and going with it too. I was like, yeah, I can't skip this one.
He is indeed the main character, Aiden Aggro. And just because I have to do this. All right, so this is his. So we're talking about Hazard, and I'm gonna give him some spotlight. Not that he deserves it.
Oh no.
So everybody, this is his. Now again, I repeat, this is his pinned tweet on his Twitter. So I'm going to turn off my headset so you can hear the audio, because you have to hear him, not only look at him. So here we go.
Yo, you know what pisses me off? New Year's resolutions. You don't need to wait until the new year. You don't need to wait until Monday. Get up and get it now, you lazy lemons. I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. 24 was a big year for 23. I took the streets on the road and I got it cracking. They said no, I said yes. They said later, I said now. They said not him, I said me.
Yeah. I'm not going to make you watch the whole minute-long version of
Thank
this.
God.
I don't think anybody should have to do that.
Can I say something? I feel like I'm watching like a human rat. That's why he reminds me of. I can't. No. He looks like a little rat. I don't like it.
Like, the funny thing is, though, he's really good in the ring. He sold me on his promo. The funny thing is, that's not even a bad like, honestly, it's not a bad promo. Like, here's the thing. I give this guy shit because, well, yeah, I give this guy shit. He's really good at what he does. He is, like, so you have to understand, in this crowd, they handed out basically everybody. Yeah, I know. What year is it? I agree. What year is it? That was a year and that is a year and a half old, by the way. That video was from January 1st of 2025.
Okay, that's what it is.
Everybody has a Hazard hater, like, little sign that's like somebody printed up that's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hates this dude. Aggro at one point takes Hazard around the outside of the ring and lets the fans give chops to Hazard, which I thought was great. Chef's kiss. Big up on Hazard to be willing to do it, because that's a dangerous proposition to let random people in the crowd. And I guarantee you these people are chosen, who are people who are there all of the time. I guarantee they're hand selected for a specific reason. They're not just random people that Aggro goes, here, go ahead and do this. But that's a cool spot. It gets the crowd involved. The crowd hated him. And the crowd is important in this aspect, 1987. That was so 2000s, it was traumatic. Look, we've given Hazard more publicity now than any wrestling company ever has on any of the shows he's ever been on.
Oh my God.
And if he wants to come on here and talk his shit, fine. I don't care. I'll let him on. Trust me, I won't have to worry because he'll probably talk himself out after about 2 minutes. Because he can only cut a promo for about a minute and a half on New Year's resolutions. I figure you could do better than that. Anyways. This has one of the coolest, funny, creative finishes in the world. And it goes beyond just the finish of the match. So, Aggro gets the advantage, has him on the outside, everything goes on. Hazard gets the advantage again, though. Hazard has the advantage, he has Aggro down, but he starts getting distracted by the crowd. He gets distracted by the crowd, Aggro rolls in, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, ding, 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 ding. We hear the bell. He got counted out. He was qualifying for the biggest match, for the big stage, and because he was jaw-jacking with the fans, he got counted out. So fucking Hazard. Just so Hazard. I love this. I love Aiden Aggro. I love Aiden Aggro with J-Heru. IE.
Mm-hmm.
You got the main man with the IE over there. Just, those two are so much fun together. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the Main Street Posse is Daphne DeVille and Aiden Aggro. There is a third member who I have to look up because I don't know who it is. I thought it was Ace Romero, but they said that the third member will be there at the other show. And
wait, what's the name of the group again?
Main Street Posse.
Okay.
2 S's, 1 E. Sorry, I'm hungry. I have to get a bite of my candy here.
You're trying to tell me how to spell? Can't believe you.
Well, it's not exactly an easy word. I fucked it up a couple times trying to look it up myself earlier. I kept spelling pose because I kept forgetting the second E. Who is the third member of this group?
I'm looking it up, sir. Patience.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's see. I will beat him in English, my second language. That tells you everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't spell worth a damn. You should see my notes when I write Astrid messages on here. It's fucking pathetic.
Okay, Alexander Lee. I'm trying to find his profile.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a picture. It says this is Limitless from 2019, and yeah, it does have Alexander Lee, Aiden, and Daphne.
Okay. Makes sense then. I'll take a look later. But yeah. What did you think of this match, Miss Astrid?
Like I said, it's like I more than anything liked that the finishes were all so different, and this one with the count out, it wasn't one that I was like mad about any way, shape, or form. Because even at one point I was watching it, and because I was working, I glanced up for a moment. All of a sudden I hear the bell, and I just thought there wasn't anybody getting pinned at the moment, like a second ago. So what happened? And when I had to go back and look at it, I was like, that was very creative because I hadn't seen that happen in a while, for like somebody being so focused on the fans that they missed out on what was happening around them. And I feel like, especially by somebody that just got chopped by the fans a few minutes before that, so I feel like that just sounds funny overall too. And it made the card look different too, because we had the like regular finishes so far, and this one was different in that point of it. We have one with a quick roll up, but we hadn't had anything with the DQ or anything like that before this happened. So I feel like it was a good timing for it too. But overall, just entertaining. And I was like, oh, That definitely caught my attention. I was not expecting that to happen. For him to getting distracted by the fans of all people.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Like I said, and I think it's so great because it feels like it works. It doesn't just feel thrown together like, oh, we need a funny finish to make this work. It works within the story they're telling, both in the match and in the company. Everything works together. It really works cool. And then we have Hazard throwing a hissy fit in the ring because he lost, and everybody's balling up the things, and he's prompting them to throw them by saying, "Don't throw those signs at me. I'll get all pissy if you keep throwing those signs." So obviously people, because again, there are certain ways you tell wrestling fans to do something without telling them that they're allowed to do something. Because no, you shouldn't throw things at wrestlers. That's bad. But if there's an item that you're given on your seat and a wrestler tells you not to throw them, and it's the wrestler telling you and not the venue, the ring announcer, or security, it's a hint that they want a little something. It's their way of hinting to you, hey, nudge, nudge, nudge. Can you do the thing for me? And, so they do. And I think it's great. And then out comes a guy with a mask on in the crowd. Obviously, that is Scotty 2 Hotty. He tries to beat him up. They get separated. Scotty 2 Hotty announces that at the Vacationland Cup, the event, not the tournament, he's going to go ahead and take on Hazard. He doesn't care what you call it Main Street Fight, call it a brawl, call it whatever the hell you want, just don't call it a wrestling match. And he says, by the way, it's not going to be Scotty 2 Hotty coming to the ring. You're not going to get the worm. You're not going to get the fun. You're not going to get the games. I'm coming with a purpose. It's Scott Garland coming, and I'm going to kick your ass. Chef kiss. Love it. You've just set up the match that you've got coming up in 2 shows. The next event is in Scotty 2 Hotty's hometown, where he lives and resides. So something's going to happen there because you've got to keep selling this match. This is just wrestling booking 101, and it's so good. It's done so well. I don't like Hazard. I think he's a tool. You've all seen he's a fucking tool. But he knows the wrestling thing, and he does it pretty well. Good for him on that. This was fun. This did what it needed to do. Aiden Aggro moves on. Hazard goes home. Any last thoughts on this before we move on to our main event of the evening?
Yeah.
We are here at the Limitless World Title match. 6 matches on this card. Easy in, easy out. The world champion of Limitless Wrestling is indeed Donovan Dijak, not Donovan Dorjak, which we have here. I'm going to get so many miles out of that if we keep covering Donovan Dijak on all these shows. It's fantastic. Taking on one of our favorites. Me and you both adore this man to the ends of the earth. Him and his wife had a bit of an issue at the beginning of their Pride Month, but everybody seems to have gotten over their dumb bullshit to let this go on. So Bear Bronson taking on Donovan Dijak for the Limitless World Championship. Astrid, tell me what you thought of this match.
I especially love the fact that even though the Dijak is not that much bigger than Bear in that aspect of it, like height-wise or anything like that, but I like the fact that the way Dijak goes after him, that Bear does not give up. No matter what it is, Dijak might throw whatever it is at him, and then Bear will go and stand up again. And I like that kind of storytelling. It's like no matter what you throw at him, it never keeps him down. And I love especially that spear within him during this whole match when it happens. It also gave me more hope that Bear was going to win it because of the way it was going. So I was waiting for that moment because the way they're selling it, I wasn't sure who was going to win it to begin with. It could have gone either way in this match. And I feel like they did really well with it. Overall, I had fun with it. And I especially love the ending too. Because I was like, I like seeing Dijak after winning the match. And he's like hugging Bear, raising his hand and everything. And I was like, this smells a little fishy here. Let's see how long it takes him to do something. And then I like the fact that even from the point of view that they gave us, because you can still see him in the corner, but you're still kind of focused on Bear, that you kind of don't see Dijak taking the title in the corner to hit him anyway. Took me a moment to realize it was him at the same time. And I was like, yeah, there it is. That's what I was waiting for. And the fact that he just hits him. But I love seeing Gabby coming in for the save too. I feel like that was pretty well done with the timing and everything. And like you said, it connects back to her match earlier too.
I have a 6-word note for the entirety of this main event match. And it is one single word in all caps, banger. I love this. I love this match from beginning to end. These guys told a fantastic show. They made a match that had rules and wasn't a no-holds-barred match. That was essentially a Falls Count Anywhere no-holds-barred match. Makes sense. Dijak being a guy who in this promotion is more than willing to take the easy way out, to do what he needs to do to get things done as the heel, to Bear Bronson being the deathmatch guy right now. That's his new thing. Being part of the system, learning from the guys in the system and learning how to do the things he needs to do. There's just so much good things going on right now with Bear Bronson that they made this match, basically being the referees, like, I don't want to get in the way. They're going to do what they're going to do, and I'm just going to kind of let it go. If I need to step in, I'll step in. And the finish of the match being Bear taking the Feast Your Eyes on the chair that Bear introduced into the match, I think is the key great storytelling element of this match. I thought that was really cool because it's not Dijak taking the easy way out from something he did. It's taking the easy way out from something that Bear did. He's taking what Bear did and using it against him. And to me, that's genius. To me, that's a champion. I also loved that this match started with Dijak going to hit the discus clothesline and Bear hitting his finish right off the bat. And it's 1, 2, Dijak kicks out. And I'm like, that sets the tone. We're going hell for leather. We're going big moves. We're doing the thing. I thought that was really cool. The other thing I liked during this match is we had that moment where Bear gets to Hulk up. We get that Bear Bronson Hulk up moment where, not Hulk Hogan, but like the Incredible Hulk. Fuck the Hulk Hogan, as the Iron Sheik would say. If we're going to talk about that kind of a spot, we're talking about the Tatanka spot. So just so people are clear, it's the Tatanka spot where you hit him and he just kind of keeps getting better and better and he bounces around the ring. In this case, it's Bear taking all of Dijak's big non-finisher moves and kicking out at 1. It's the discus clothesline kicking out at 1. It's the big boot kicking out at 1. It's the choke bomb kicking out at 1. It's everything except Feast Your Eyes. It's protecting the finish, but giving Bear everything he needs to give the fans hope that he's going to win. This match was booked geniusly. These are two guys who can pull off the no-holds-barred gimmick. And by the way, barely used weaponry to do so. They did a lot of wrestling on the outside, wrestling in the crowd, being with the people. Bear spit beer in Dijak's face. That feels wrong. I don't like that. I think he spit on him at one point too. Again, kind of ew, but also I love Bear Bronson, so I'll get over it. Dijak is so good at selling the, oh my God, I'm 7 feet tall and I'm terrified. And when Bear starts kicking out at 1, you've got like the Dijak eyes the size of his fucking head, and you've got the, like the hands. He's so good at the facial things he needs to get the people he works with over. It's a shame they can't figure out what to do with a guy like Dijak. Like MLW's figured it out. You put him with a guy like Baron Corbin, you make them a tag team, you make them great. I'm sad to be losing Bishop Dyer. Excited to have the return of Baron Corbin coming up in the near future. I won't be able to watch it because I don't watch that company, but I'm excited for him to go back and get a paycheck and hopefully be treated properly. Hopefully he'll go to AAA so I can watch it. That being said, I love this match from beginning to end. This was great. This was fantastic. It's a banger. Dijak wins. Dijak gets the win. Pretty clean. Like, yes, he uses the chair. He didn't introduce the chair. He didn't hit him with the chair. Bear set up the chair. Dijak used it against Bear. I call that clean-ish. He didn't cheat on his own. It was something that was introduced. I like the way it works. I like the way everything happens here. Yes, he goes to lift Bear up. He attacks Bear. Great. Keep the heel heat. Keep Dijak looking like a badass. Keep Dijak looking like an asshole. Out comes Gabby for the save. Show goes off the air with Dijak running away and us getting Gabby and Bear side by side. What you don't see on the show that happened post-show that I forgot to send to Astrid, I may have sent it to her earlier in the week before we covered the show, and I don't know if she remembers this. Post-match, Bear Bronson talks to the crowd. He also talks to his lovely wife. And he talks about how he's ashamed and embarrassed that he couldn't get the job done. And he looks at Gabby and he goes, I couldn't get the job done, and you're not me. And everybody's like, wow, like that's kind of harsh. And he looks at her and he goes, you're better than me. Go get it. And I'm like, that's fucking great. Like, Gabby had a shot at Dijak. She lost. She got cheated out of it, but she lost. Then they went ahead and they had their asylum-style match where there was 4-on-4 and it was in a literal prison. And they had a cage and it was fucking fantastic. And Dijak's team all came out in fucking orange jumpsuits that Dijak ended up selling his orange jumpsuit on his whatnot. And had it not been too expensive, I probably would have bought the fucker, which means I really need to stop going on whatnot because I would have bought that shit. But anyways.
Meg, I will block the app from him very, very soon. I promise you.
I mean, she can do it. I'll just re-download it. But anyways. I love this. I love this ending. I love the show. I love the way that this went on. And again, Bear felt like throughout the whole thing, he might win this match. He felt like he might become the Limitless Wrestling Champion. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's all you need. You need the hope that your favorite wrestler is going to get the job done. You need the hope that he's going to get the job done. You need the hope that she's going to get the win. At the end of the day, if they get the win, if they don't get the win, as long as the match is good, that's all you need. It's all you need. Limitless Wrestling is a great promotion. They're up there in Saco, Maine. They're up there in Portsmouth, Maine. But if you want to see Limitless Wrestling on here, you can go on YouTube at Limitless Wrestling. You can go to their Twitter, LW Maine. And remember, if you sign up for the free tier of My AEW, I can't believe I'm shilling My AEW. How did the tables turn where I'm shilling that shit? Conrad, I think I might have to come on your show now to start shilling My AEW just for the independent wrestling shit because I don't know how this is going to work, man. I'm shilling an AEW product. How bad is it that the world is that I'm shilling for AEW? It doesn't need food. He needs memorabilia. I mean, we are talking about a Dijak match, so I feel like I have to obligatorily bring up the fact that I do have the ring-worn Dijak glasses with the inscription from Donovan Dijak on them. So
I gotta block that out from you pretty soon.
We don't. It got you a wonderful print from Rachel Lay.
That's fine. Still.
She was doing the Astrid pose.
She is.
It was perfect. If I didn't have the app, I couldn't have gotten you that wonderful gift.
I know, but after that one, it's okay. You can block it now.
No, I'm sure there's more memorabilia that I'm going to need. It's fine. Astrid, tell the good people what you've got coming up.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't know when it'll happen, but our Obsession review is on the channel. I know they have another one that's going to be coming up pretty soon as well. So we're talking about Send Help with Rachel McAdams. And then we'll see what we film after that. So sorry, I'm trying to do the chapters at the same time. So I got my fingers are busy. Aside from that, you can find me on my Twitter is Astrid Pizarro, and my Instagram and Threads is Astrid Pizarro 20. Or if you love book stuff, you can find me at Book Lovers Book Reviews.
Yeah. You can. Oh no! Don't delete my stuff. Just bring them up. You can find me at all these places, but more importantly, my friend Peggy. She was in the chat earlier. Hopefully, she's still here lurking, or she's gone to bed. One of the two. You can find her at OpheliaPayne.com for all of her wonderful reviews. She is seemingly not going to be able to make the Supergirl review this Thursday with me and Andre. But if she is there, we will get her thoughts on this. Otherwise, we will go ahead and get her thoughts at a later date when she's had the opportunity to see the movie. And remember that either this weekend or next Thursday, the Marvel Talk team will be back again as we're going to be talking all about the first 3 episodes of Season 2 of X-Men 97. We're very excited. Those drop on Wednesday. Andre thought we were doing the review for that on Thursday. I said, no, the review on Thursday is for Supergirl because we need to talk about this movie because, oh, God, is everybody talking about this movie? Nobody's seeing it, but everybody's talking about it. So go ahead and do that. It'll be great. You can go ahead and catch us there. More importantly, you can catch our local establishment, all the places down below. They've been at the bottom of your screen all show, if you haven't noticed. All a podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, and our local establishment on the YouTube side. We also have a Twitch channel where you can go ahead and subscribe there. But remember, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave us a comment. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what promotions you want us to cover so we can look them up and see if they're worthy of our time. Because we want to talk about the wrestling that you guys like. Because
these are hype points.
Use your hype points 2 or 3 days after the show goes live on the mobile devices. Go ahead and just give us some hype. You get 3 hypes a week. You'll go ahead and hype up some of our content. Hype some of Mel's content with Noah Unleashed, where you'll be hearing her at some point talking about LJ Cleary, about Jack Morris, about Anthony Greene, all these fantastic people. All kinds of great stuff. Yes, the Empress Peggy. We always promote Empress Peggy stuff. She even told us that we didn't have to promote her stuff when we promoted it on the review when we did the trailer with the trailer reaction to Spider-Man in X-Men 97. Me and Andre did a trailer reaction to that, and we promoted Peggy's stuff. And she's like, you don't have to promote my stuff if you're not on the channel. So now every show I'm on, I'm just going to promote Peggy's stuff just for the hell of it, just to either promote her stuff because she does great work, and we love Peggy. She is the empress of our local establishment. But more importantly, because she's just a good person who does great work that we want to see her thrive and all the wonderful things she's doing. So, for myself, for the Natural Astrid Pizarro, we'll be back in probably 2 weeks. And then we're probably going to have another show in about 2 weeks after that. And then we're basically taking almost the entire month of August off. Like, I'll be honest. Either Ash will be here with a special guest at some point during August, or we're just taking the entire month of August off. I'm moving the first couple weeks of August, so I'm unable to go ahead and do most shows during that time period. Yes, Shane Hayes is the GCHW heavyweight champion. And if you want, speaking of former guests on our show, you can go ahead to Perio Magazine and see the interview with Shane Hayes that Jamie did, because he's a great person. He does great things. So you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, a month of August, pretty much nothing. We might have a show. But we'll be back at the very least 2 more times in the month of July. That seems like an easy, no-brainer thing that we can do. We'll be back in September. Absolutely no problem. We'll probably be covering WSW at in the beginning of November, because we all loved that. Me, you, and Jamie loved covering a WSW last time we were here. So I think we're probably going to do that. So let us know what wrestling shows you think we should cover that you've been watching over the last couple of weeks, so we can figure out what we want to cover the next couple of weeks as we get ready to do our 2 shows in July. But for myself, for The Natural, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
I am in misery.